It's no secret that most of the fitness world today is focused on building muscle, losing fat, and athletic performance, which is great, but it really should go a lot deeper than that. I'll admit I have struggled in the past to relate to people that have zero interest in taking care of their bodies. And look, I'm not saying everybody needs to dedicate their lives to training and nutrition, but I am saying that this idea that some people just aren't into fitness needs to be challenged. And I think one of the best ways to prove this point is to share one of the biggest fitness studies shared so far this year. I want to drive the point home: doing some level of bodily movement regularly should be a requirement for every human that is capable. Even if you have zero desire to build a nice physique or even to perform, that's fine. But if you want to prevent a life of disease and sickness, exercise should be a requirement. This study was conducted from 2009 to 2024 with a total of 889 participants. 445 were in the exercise group and 444 were in the health education group. The patients were those with resected or surgically removed colon cancer who had completed chemo. And those in the health education group were provided general health education on physical activity and nutrition, but were not given any specific exercise protocols or goals. No coaching sessions, no consulting, and no specific behavioral change framework. And look, before you get disinterested because you don't have cancer, I would stick around because the results have implications for everyone. And so the group in the health education only ultimately did increase their physical activity, but it was much less than the exercise group. So over 3 years, half of the participants had more specific behavioral change protocols and coaching and guided sessions. And just to get to the point, the main takeaway from the study: at a median follow-up of 7.9 years, disease-free survival was significantly longer in the exercise group than in the health education group. The 5-year disease-free survival was 80.3% in the exercise group and 73.9% in the health education group. And I think it's worth noting, colorectal cancer is the third most common cancer and second leading cause of cancer-related death worldwide. And get this, the protocol in the study for the exercise group focused primarily on aerobic exercise, with brisk walking as one of the primary options due to the moderate intensity. Participants in the exercise group were encouraged to engage in recreational aerobic activities of at least moderate intensity up to vigorous activity, but they had flexibility in choosing the type, frequency, and duration of the exercise. The study aimed for MET values of activity of 3 or more. Now, if you're not familiar, 1 MET represents the energy used while sitting or at rest, and MET just stands for Metabolic Equivalent of a Task. A light activity like slow walking or cooking could be around 2 METs. Brisk walking or cycling can be between 3 and 6 METs. And then vigorous or intense training like running or heavy resistance training can be over 6 METs. In the study, the exercise group showed improvements across the board in cardio fitness and physical performance, with the goal being activity levels over 10 MET hours per week. So to give you a concrete example, if you walk for 40 minutes today, that's 0.67 hours. And if your walk is brisk, meaning around 3 to 4 miles per hour, that's a MET of 4. So you would take 0.67, the time you did the activity, times 4, which is the MET for that activity. That would give you 2.68 MET hours. And if you did that 4 times a week, that's 10.72 MET hours of activity for the week. Or another example, if you wanted to jog for 20 minutes, which would be 0.33 hours, times 7 METs for jogging, that's 2.31 MET hours per session. So I think you get the idea with that. 10 MET hours per week is roughly equivalent to 150 minutes of moderate aerobic exercise. And so if you wanted to do that 6 days a week, that's only 25 minutes per day. Now listen, for some of us in the fitness world, all of this is painfully obvious. Movement and training have nearly endless impacts on our overall well-being, far beyond just aesthetics and confidence. But exercise also has been shown to reduce cancer recurrence, improve immunity, reduce inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and many other body processes that the average person pays no attention to. And for those without cancer, these results suggest aerobic exercise may lower cancer risk, and other observational studies support this too. It proves that aerobic exercise reduces risks of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and other obesity conditions. It can enhance heart health and blood pressure, and these participants in the exercise group noted enhanced quality of life linked to better mental health, reduced fatigue, and improved mobility. And these results were not achieved with training to failure 7 days a week, so even moderate activity levels, which are accessible to nearly everyone, can have a very meaningful impact on all of these aspects of our lives. And that's really part of why Built by Basics started, to get people up and moving so more people can understand you don't need a perfect training protocol to see real change in your life. You don't need to go to the gym. You don't need a fancy home gym. You just need to regularly get your body moving and elevate your heart rate even a bit. And this doesn't even touch on all of the deeper benefits of resistance training, like bone health, improved lipid profiles, enhanced cognitive function, improved hormonal balance, and so on. So my hope is that perhaps you can share this video with someone you know that is living a pretty sedentary lifestyle as an encouragement for them. The truth is, they don't need to blow up their entire lives to see real change. They can just start with a 20-minute brisk walk every day and build from there. So even these small changes have been shown to have outsized effects on not only our overall well-being, but in preventing many sicknesses and diseases. We only get one body, so we really should be encouraging everyone to take good care of it. As always, I'll answer all questions in the comments for as long as I can.